Hey guys, Chuck here again. Time to get greasy. Here we go. So this is where I left it last week. Had stuff to do. Had to work. Boss wants me to come to work. You believe that? Yeah, that's good. Get past this COVID, straighten things out. So going forward, that's the trans I just got. I'm gonna get my trans out and power wash it off. It's a little greasier than that. I'm gonna change the oil pan gasket on this truck while it's off. I got some valve cover gaskets. Yeah, she's gooey a little. Been taking care of a couple things here, what everybody knows. My Z-bar had gotten wrecked on the CUDA. Put that back in. Just nitnoid stuff, catching up. The satellite, she's all tuned up. My buddy Bill, look at this. This is from a 65 issue of Motor Trend. He just sent this in the mail. Bill, thanks, man. I'm gonna call you in a minute. That is so cool. I gotta get that thing framed. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, I could get that auto trans out, loosen up the exhaust evidently a bit so everything fits. Said I had to modify these. I'm gonna move those blocks ahead. But yeah, I've just been cleaning my bench. You guys don't even know. There's stuff that was sitting down there for 6 years on that end. Yeah, still an exhaust or intake laying there. Anyway, yeah, enough talking. Well, it's going slow in the garage. And it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I thought, you know what? I wanted to spray these, power wash these things off, so I'm gonna do that right now and go back to fighting bell housing bolts on that auto trans. Yeah, here we go. All right, it wasn't awful. I got wet, but I have other clothes. So yeah, got those cleaned up. Here's a engine harness that goes back. I think this is actually an auto harness, but like here's a backup light. It is off the correct truck, you know, that like the 98 and earlier, 97 and earlier, but I always label everything. I don't know what that is. 2 I got on there, and manifold pressure. Anyway, so that's what I do. So yeah, I made a call. A lot of everything's technique, you know, and so I called my friend Jeff, buddy Jeff, also known to you guys as a professor. Jeff is a Moparologist. I needed to know what to do about getting these bell housing bolts for the top ones, you know, and he says, oh, he's got a 3-foot extension. I'm like, holy crap. And an impact swivel. He explained it to me. I have no idea what it is. So anyway, also the other thing, drop the ass end of the trans down and get at them. So that's next. Yep. Anyway, keep on keeping on. All right, so I pulled my little jig off of the transmission jack. About to start getting dirty. I got to pull the motor through and take the torque converter bolts out and lower the ass end of the trans. Get those long bolts out of the top. They're not long, they're just way up there. So yeah, talk to Jeff, buddy Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. Universal impact universals. I never knew about them. You know, I mean, I'm not a mechanic. I just pretend to be one. So yeah, he'll take what I'm gonna do. He's got a 3-foot long extension with a 1/2-inch drive and a 3/8-inch drive. So this keeps everything, keeps the torque on them the same, I guess, versus your regular impact or, you know, the normal U-joint. It's kind of off to the races with the stupid thing sometimes. So, yep, get that done, lower the behind down, and go from there. Well, the greasy, she's out. Torque converter's drained. There wasn't a lot in there. She marked her territory on the way out. I'll tell you, it wasn't the worst thing. Of course, there's other things I'd rather be doing, like going 10 rounds with Pammy Anderson. The trans cross member was fighting me until I realized it slides back. The frame is kind of tapered, so yeah, that wasn't bad. It's gonna be a bitch bolting it back in. I know that. My son was here. He says, "Good luck." And he left. All right. So next, clean up the carnage where she spilled, and that's the crank position sensor right there. You see it? Okay. Well, it has to do with firing the engine, I believe. Hell, I don't know. But anyway, you see how close it is to the crank? Well, or the flywheel. The flywheel on this other, on the manual trans is bigger. That's why I needed a shorter one. So, yeah, I changed that once. That was done purely by hand. You can't even begin to get up there and do that, you know, see what you're doing. So, all right. Yep. I wonder why I do this stuff to myself sometimes. To be cool, have something cool. So, yeah, going forward. Let's see. That one's going in, right? But the shift tower boot is trashed. You can't get just the boot. You can buy a shift tower. They're like, you know, $70 or something last I looked. This boot's good. So I'm going to go ahead, of course, swap them over and go from there. Under the truck, obviously. First of all, I've decided not to change my oil pan gasket. I mean, it's greasy. It's all coming from up above, valve cover gaskets, I guess. So that's just going to stay. Couple issues came up. This is the pilot bearing for the transmission, and it's egg-shaped for a reason. So this is what I got in my clutch kit, right? And I'm like, okay, it goes in there. Well, it doesn't. There should be a larger one that goes in here. And I couldn't drive this in. I even mic'd it, and it was a little tight. Well, whatever. So it should be a 2-piece deal or one big one. There's one at uptown. I'm going to get another one. Go from there. Then I was trying to do my crank position sensor. Up here somewhere is the pigtail for it. Saved my life. I couldn't hook it up. I'm like, what the hell? So, let me turn the light off. Finally, I picked up the automatic, the one that came off the truck's an automatic. And, of course, I bought one for a manual truck, like I probably said. Well, the plugs are different. Not much, but enough that it makes one upside down. Anyway, you have to take my word for it. Let's see if I can make this work for you guys. Do you see how they look different? I mean, you have to look at where the plastic is. The plastic there and the plastic on the right, you know, they just won't go together. So I was like, all right, that sucks. And so I started doing some more thinking, and this is a harness out of a 97 manual trans truck. So I was like, okay, let me find the damn plug on the crank position sensor plug on this. I look. Well, I'd had this one. This is pretty sure it came out of the same truck, a manual crank position sensor. Notice it's different compared to these, right? Well, it is the same distance this way as the one that I got there. Pulling my hair out. So I call Jeff again. I said, Jeff, what up? And he goes, well, I figured it out on my own. The plugs are different. So this is a crank plug sensor on a 97. This is a 96. I was like, SOB. That sucks. You'll notice, yeah, here's a, see, it's a plug sensor for the 97. They changed stuff. So I said, okay, what else they changed? Well, they could have changed the throttle position sensor, the map sensor, you know, everything up at the top. I'm like, crap. So either I could order new sensors with the plugs, or I think what I'm going to do is just make this work on my, I'm going to cut these two up and make them work. You know, put the pigtail from the auto one onto the manual one and go from there. But regardless, I'm dead in the water for the moment. And so yeah, I'd always plan on changing the harness, because you lose the like trans temp sensor for an automatic trans. Those plugs, I didn't need them, but it ain't gonna happen now. Screw that. You know, start buying 150 bucks worth of sensors, map sensor, TPS, all these others up on the top of the truck there. So yeah. Anyway, yep, pressing on. All right, more better. See the difference? I didn't know. I was expecting one of these anyway, but that's not what I got, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. Different car. So yeah, I got it in there. This one's junk. I got the manual crank sensor stuck in, change the ends. So I'm going to get the flywheel on here, crank her over and see what happens. Well, there she is. Clutch, or flywheel and clutch are in. And this wasn't too bad because I can sit up under here. You can imagine laying on your back, reaching over your arms, putting that, I don't know what that flywheel weighs, it's not light, plenty. And there's the butt. First I was like, man, is this stupid? Did they send me the wrong, you know, clutch alignment tool? There's all Chinese stuff, you know, so what I got in there. All right, guys, I can't start it, not because this stuff's in the way, I'd move that, but there's no oil in it, to see if my crank sensor swap is what it is. They're only, I think I'm all right. There's only one marked wire. It's a center wire. It's white. Got a white tracer on it. So, I don't know. I'm probably all right. Anyway, yep. Let's see what else we can do. Well, guys, that's going to be the it for this one. Fairly short video, but I'm not able to keep on working like steadily from 9 to 5 or whatever. But yeah, what you saw was basically the better part of 2 days. And yeah, I'm not fast. I'm not a mechanic. I pretend to be one. So anyway, yeah, we'll get back to it. All the tools are wiped off. This heavy lump, my God, it dumped all over the floor out of the tube. But that's all right, you know, we can clean it up. Got to get some cleaner for the floor. Anyway, all right, that's that. Thanks, you guys. See ya.